In this video, we're going to divide this polynomial using synthetic division. So the first step, step 1, you want to take your divisor, in this case it's x plus 2, and you want to set it equal to 0. And solve for x. In this case, we end up with x is equal to negative 2. From this point on, using synthetic division, we're going to use this as our modified divisor. Now, the next thing you want to do is you want to go ahead and in step 2, we're going to draw the divisor or the division symbol for synthetic division. So I'm going to go about 3 spaces down and then come over. So it kind of looks like a L to a certain extent, right? But it's got a really long base. Now what we want to do is we want to take our divisor, our negative 2, and put it on the outside here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and each one of these coefficients that you see in front of the x, we're going to go ahead and bring it down and write it inside of here at the top. For instance, this first one is 2, so I'm going to go ahead and write a 2 right here. The next one is positive 7, so I'm going to go ahead and leave a space and write 7. And then the last value we have represents our constant, and we're going to bring it down as well. Another 7. Now once we got all of our terms here, we're going to go ahead and start by moving this first value 2 down below the line of our synthetic division symbol. Now we're going to use this number because we're going to take our divisor of negative 2 and we're going to multiply it to this positive 2. In other words, write this one in black so you can see the difference. I'm going to take negative 2, my divisor, and multiply it by positive 2. And I should have put modified. That's our modified divisor. Now what I'm going to do is once I multiply negative 2 by 2, it gives me negative 4. I'm going to take that answer and I'm going to write it underneath my 7. So negative 4. And if I combine these terms, 7 plus negative 4, it's going to leave me with a positive 3, which I'm going to bring down. Then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take my negative 2 again and multiply it to this 3. So negative 2 times positive 3. And that's going to give me 6. And that answer, I'm going to bring it up here and put negative 6 right underneath the 7. And then I'm going to do math top to bottom. 7 plus negative 6 leaves me with a positive 1. Now, notice we got 3 numbers from this. I'm going to move it up just a little bit. We have a 2, I'm going to rewrite it right here. We have a 3, I'm going to write it right there. And we have a 1, which I'm going to write right here. So I just repeated the answers that we had received. This first value represents the coefficient of your first term, which is x. So we're going to go ahead and say this is going to be 2x. And this is a positive 3, so I'm going to put a plus sign there. So plus 3, that's your constant. And then we have this leftover value. Now this leftover value here, we're going to call this a remainder. And if you didn't have a remainder, then this last value when we did the subtraction should have been 0 if there was no remainder. But this is a remainder. And so what I'm going to do now is when I take that remainder value, it is a positive 1. It's going to be over the original divisor. Original divisor. Put an arrow. And so our original divisor that we were dividing by in the beginning was x plus 2 before we had modified it. So I'm going to write x plus 2. So this is our final answer. We have 2x plus 3 plus 1 over x plus 2. And this is our answer for this problem. If you would have done it long division, you would see that you would get the exact same answer. So this is your example for this synthetic division. Now I'm going to do one more problem. So see the next example if you want to see one more.